Good day, everyone. I am Rochin V.A. Patosa, and I will talk about the critical approach, feminist and empowerment research. So, before anything else, let us go first to our objectives. So, first is to discover the two approaches of critical research. Second is to avoid gender biases. And third is to understand what is feminist research approach. And yes, in this chapter, we will focus more on the feminist research model or approach. So, for our introduction, in critical research, there are two approaches, and these are feminist research model and empowerment research. So these two approaches evolved from the action research model of Kurt Lewin in the 1940s. So Kurt Lewin is considered as one of the founders of social psychology. So, in this critical research or approach, specifically the feminist research approach, have has these purposes. So these are to devoid of any gender bias, to include feminist research as a variation of the action-oriented research approach. Third is a way for exploited groups to break the chain of exploitation by taking action against their exploiters. And fourth is it is the guidance resource for the people. So these approaches are considered as qualitative research method. So let us now go to the feminist research model. So feminist research model has its goal and based on Saxon House document the dreadful history of misogynist statements by male authors, statements that were considered to have justified the exclusion of women from the political realm and confined them to the private world of the family. So the feminist approach took on greater importance during the decade of 1980s when it grew in acceptance as a perspective of choice in many research studies on political research. So Galston also added that there is no story of political theory in the 1980s that would be complete without stressing the extraordinary development of vitality of feminist thought. So, feminist approach to research and to science in general is based on the value-free fact that women see things differently than men. So, in this chapter or in this part, education has a big role in the history because in education research has shown that genders have different ways of learning and different ways of describing meaning, and it was described on how women and men view research phenomena often differs in many often highly meaningful ways. So men have dominated academic, administrative, and managerial career fields. So this is not anymore new because we have already knew that in history men really dominated the entire field when it comes to political, economic, or social. So most research in these areas was designed and conducted by males for male readers, and there is a great absence for the female readers. So which is really so the extensive and important role of women in society was often ignored or at best glossed over. So the drive equal career opportunity revealed that a new approach to research was needed to ensure that an equal voice was given to both genders in description of social and political phenomena. So the feminist research model, which as of today is used by researchers of both genders, it is seen as an aid in this critical emancipatory effort by eliminating gender bias. So researchers employed feminist approach contend that gender-based political theory and political writing have long been both overtly and covertly gender-biased. So, feminist research or approach contend that gender-biased political theory and political writing have long been both overtly and covertly gender-biased. So it has been described that gender is considered feminist approach contend that gender-based political theory and political writing have long been both overtly and covertly gender biased. So this was concluded when feminist researchers studied the political science when it comes to its political phenomena in the international relations and politics, even in state formation, war and peace, revolutions, and in international political economies, and of course, the global governance. So let us now go to the research for women by women. So in this chapter, it has been described by Allen that research for women rather than women. I mean, research for women rather than about women. So, in feminist research, according to Small, it has its primary goal, and its primary goal is the promotion of the feminist agenda by challenging the male dominance and advocating the social, political, and economic equality of men and women. So the entire field or the entire factor are being represented not just by men but also with women. So, typical of the themes approached from a feminist research perspective are the papers published in the April 2002 issue of the International Feminist Journal of Politics, and this is the Toward a Feminist Political Economy and the Rewriting Global Political Economy as Reproductive, Productive, and Virtual Economics of Peterson and the UN approach to harmful traditional practices by Winter, Thompson, and Jeffries. So, feminist research methodology has a long history of use in political science research. So, this is not anymore new, especially today, because it was examined by the feminist researchers. So for this, there are two examples, and these are the gender differences in agency head salaries. It is used the case of public education was used by Mayer and Wilkins, and the sex-based occupational segregation in U.S. state bureaucracies by Kerr, Miller, and Reed. So papers about the feminist theories in international relations have interest for both political science researchers because of their emphasis on eliminating gender bias in the government. Because as what we have known, men dominated not just in social or economical but in the political realm, right? It took a long decade for women to stand up and represent when it comes to political realm. So let us now go to the focus of feminist research. So the feminist research is sometimes referred to as emancipative or empowering research. So this is considered to be one of the four chief variations of action research. So when we say action research, it is a research or analysis done in order to improve the performance quality of an organization or group. So this has been widely applied in efforts to improve public education, operations, and in programs of organizational development. So feminist research has its key objective. It is to help research participants to identify and understand the causes of their circumstances or malfunction, and then to empower them to bring about the change that they feel is required. So obviously, this is very helpful. So Newman of 2000 added that he described the approach as a process of inquiry that helps people change their working or living conditions and build a better world for themselves and, of course, for everyone. Clearly, not just for men, but also for women. So Small also described the focus of feminist research as promoting the feminist agenda by challenging male dominance and advocating female and male social, political, and economic equality. So, in feminist research, this seeks to bring about social change. So, it is being highlighted or focused the interaction between male and female and them working as a team for great equality. And second is to emancipate participants. So when we say emancipate, this means that this seeks to free women or the participants free from restraint or any any control under someone or something. And the third one is to enhance the lives of the participants. So this only means that the participants will be given a chance or freedom to participate or be involved in any decision making the world will be deciding on. So it is not just for men but also for women and for the all gender. So in Focus of Feminist Research, Small highlighted that feminist researchers share the values of overcoming oppression, empowering women, and transforming society so that equality between men and women can be achieved. So the purpose of knowledge is to change or transform what is considered the patriarchal nature of society. So the current focus of the feminist research is a perspective that has been an evolutionary process, including contributions from liberal, Marxist, and radical political philosophies on that one hand, and the ideas of women and of color and lesbians on the other. So I hope that this is a very big help to open our minds about the feminist research or just about feminism. So that would be all. Thank you so much.